Welcome to the Bows. On the main card on UFC 296, Tony Ferguson will be facing Paddy Pimblett. Tony is a huge underdog at around a plus 300 dog, and for good reason. He's clearly not the same guy ever since he fought Gaethje. That was an all-time beating, and he's even less of what he was after getting KO'd viciously by Michael Chandler. Tony is unfortunately going on a BJ Penn-esque run, where he keeps on losing because he should have retired a long time ago. But is he worth betting on at plus 300? Paddy is not good for a UFC level lightweight. I wouldn't favor him to beat any top 15 contender, and there are many outside the rankings I'd be pretty sure would beat him, like Elvis Brenner and Joel Alvarez, and I think I'd even favor Mark Jacasio over him, honestly. Paddy is a very good jiu-jitsu practitioner who never really got his wrestling to catch up to his BJJ. It's okay, but it's not really where it needs to be from what we've seen so far, and his striking is beyond elementary. Very basic things he does wrong. Keeps his chin straight up in the air. He's never really off-center line when throwing. He likes to lean back away from punches instead of moving his head off-center line. He backs up in a straight line to avoid shots as well. He only ever attacks in a straight line too. When he throws punches, he lowers his hands away from his face every time. Guys, this is very basic things any amateur fighter should know, and Paddy's making these mistakes at the highest level of MMA. It's kind of crazy. Paddy's been getting by on the feet because he's physical. He's got a good chin, he hits pretty hard, and he's a large lightweight. But his striking leaves much to be desired. He could have improved his striking in this time away, but I wouldn't count on it. He hasn't improved his striking ever since he first got into the UFC. His fighting in the first fight in the UFC compared to his last fight in the UFC, the striking looks pretty much the same to me. And he's been fighting professionally for so long, I don't know why anything would change now in his striking. This betting line is likely inflated, but with that being said, I still would not bet on Tony Ferguson in this spot. Tony is unfortunately that far gone. He looks slower each fight he's in, his chin is getting worse, and his physicality is completely gone. He has no strength left, and he's far too easy to take down. Even on the Embedded series, I saw him in the last video, he looks so skinny. He looks skinnier and skinnier each fight too. I just don't trust him to have any strength or physicality. This fight is a big stay away for me from a betting perspective, but if I had to pick a winner, I have to pick Paddy. I think Paddy's going to try and strike with Tony at first, and one of two things are going to happen. Paddy is either going to A, bum rush Tony and with little technique land big flailing punches on Tony and possibly club and sub him, or number two, Paddy is going to try to play the technical striking game with Tony. He'll be losing that game because Tony can still throw decent straight punches a bit. Maybe Paddy gets dropped, maybe not. He's got a good chin. Then Paddy's going to get tired of this nonsense, take Tony down, and win via control time or sub him on the ground. I feel like the second scenario mentioned is the most likely outcome. Worst comes to worst for Paddy, I think he could just rely on his youth and physicality, out-chin and out-muscle Tony if needed. I don't see how Tony is training with David Goggins really translates to fighting. We'll see. I'd like to be wrong. I'd love to see Tony win, and so would everybody else, but it's just very unlikely at this point, unfortunately. That's all I got today in this prediction video. Leave a like, subscribe, and let me know what you think in the comments below. Who do you think's going to win this fight? Peace.